Hello there. I'm Scotty, and you're not. And continuing my exploration of Edgar Wright, we're on Baby Driver, which came out in 2017 and stars Ansel Elgort, Kevin Spacey, Lily James, Isaac Gonzalez, John Hamm, and Jamie Foxx. And it is one of those heist movies, which is directed by Edgar Wright. And I will say, I've seen a few heist movies in my day, and it does follow some of the beats, like, oh, he's a driver for a heist, for a gang that does heists, and he wants to get out because he's fallen in love and he wants to live a normal life, that sort of thing. But Edgar Wright takes it, turns it on its head, and mixes it up with a killer soundtrack, a great cast, great action scenes. This movie from start to finish had me going. There is only one thing that I really didn't like, and you could say it's sort of a nitpick, I guess, but it is going to influence my grade. My rating, I should say. So yeah, Ansel Elgort plays Baby. When he was younger, he was in an accident where I think his mother was killed, and his hearing was impaired. So now he listens to music all the time to drown out the humming. And as someone with hearing impairment, this ear has a hearing impairment in it. Like, I have a little bit of hearing loss in this ear. Over this one is the worst one. From time to time, I'll get a ringing, or in a case, like around my birthday this year, it kind of went out a little bit, and it started to freak me out because I never had that happen where it just kind of went out. And because I'm always afraid I'm going to end up needing a hearing aid for this one at least. And it freaked me out. So yeah, I get what it's going through with the hearing and stuff. Yeah. So this is another one where a lot happens. It's kind of hard to go through the plot, so I'm going to do the positives, mixed negatives with this one, because I have to, because it's kind of hard to tell it through. So, the positives. First of all, the cast. From top to bottom, the cast in this is fantastic. Ansel Elgort, Lily James, Kevin Spacey, and I know that nowadays Kevin Spacey isn't, you don't talk about him because of stuff he did with or supposedly did, whatever. I'm not going to get into that, whether I believe it or not. It's up to you. I really don't care about people's, celebrities' personal lives. What they did or didn't do, good or bad, it's their personal lives. But he's an actor. Jamie Foxx, I love Jamie Foxx. Ever since Living Color, man, I love Jamie Foxx. He's great in this. Even though he's sort of the dick character. John Hamm is good. Isaac Gonzalez. The cast in this is fantastic. The camera work done by Edgar Wright, like the action scenes played to music, he has a style in this film, and he takes the music, and even scenes that aren't action scenes, like action scenes are choreographed to the music, but even more so regular scenes. Like, there's a scene where he walks into the diner, and they ask him a question, he's like, yeah, he says it to the song, so it's choreographed that way, and I like that throughout the entire film. Music, that's another one that really lights up this soundtrack. It's 2 discs long, this soundtrack. I looked it up on Wikipedia. It's a 2-disc soundtrack. It is. There's the vinyl out there too, so I'm guessing that's like 2 records put in the back, maybe even more. Who knows? But could even be 4 records, to be honest. I don't know. But yeah, the music goes with it. You hear a lot of songs, Easy Like Sunday Morning, or there's Queen on there. There's a bunch of songs that just go with the soundtrack, and he connects it, goes with the film, I should say. The soundtrack goes with the film. Edgar Wright takes that, connects it to scenes and action sequences, and it works. I even like some of the heist scenes where they're taking over stuff, and there's even some good dialogue in here between characters. Like everybody keeps asking why Baby's just standing there with the. He doesn't say anything, and it's like, oh, you didn't pay attention. Is he saying anything? And then he just verbatim says everything Kevin Spacey just says. It's great. What else can I say, man? Fantastic film. The action, all the effects are done practically. I guess there's I didn't notice it. There might be a little bit CGI in there, but you don't really notice it. It's mostly practical effects, and I like that. Whenever you can do a film with practical effects, do it. It works so much better. And it works very well here. Now, a mixed aspect I have in this is I don't know if I even do. Maybe some character motivation here, right? So, we find out that Baby is doing this because he's owed debt. And partway through the film, he's paid off that debt. And so you think, okay, he's going to get done, he's going to go on, he's got this girl that he likes, and he's going to live his life. But if he was done with this job, there wouldn't be a film. So Kevin Spacey shows up and says, hey, your debt is done, but you can still make money, so we need you. And it's like, sorry, itch your nose. It's like, yeah. To me, it felt like they wrote that in. His debt was paid, and they're like, wait a minute, we need a reason for him to keep doing this. So they had to put in another reason. Why didn't he just have more debt then? Why not just have him go through this to pay his debt? Why did he have to settle his debt partway through and then still have to keep doing it? Other than the script, the plot needed for him to keep doing it so we can keep having to film. I don't know. Like I said, that's a missed aspect because I understand he was doing it only to pay off his debts, and now he's doing it because he wants more money so he and his girl can leave. So that's why he's doing it. It's motivations, but it's mixed because he wanted to get away. He had a decent job, pizza delivery guy. He had a job. He had all that money stored. Don't think he really needed it to keep going, and if he was doing this to pay off debts, then why did he still have money stored? I don't know. Yeah. Back to my likes. I like the character of Joe. He is Baby's foster father who is deaf. So it kind of connects. And they have a great camaraderie. And at the end, he's forced to leave him at an old folks' home because he knows he's not going to be able to take care of him anymore. And that kind of hits you, Kind of gets you. It's like, yeah, okay, this is it. The ending. This is another missed aspect because I understand why they did it. Because throughout the film, he keeps seeing this vision of him coming out of somewhere and his girl, what's her name? Girl who's James. Deborah. Spelled with an O. Debora. That just, I don't know. It's a weird spelling of the name. Deborah to me is Debra. But Deborah, I guess. Deborah. But yeah, he has a thing for Deborah, and he keeps seeing this vision or a dream or whatever of him coming out of somewhere and her standing there waiting for him. So we have to do that. So he goes to jail and he gets 25 years in prison. But he has a chance for parole after 5 years, And I guess he gets the parole after 5 because he hasn't aged no 25 years when he gets out. You could say that maybe it's another dream, but I think the fact that it goes from black and white, which was all the dreams all the dreams were, to color means that it's real. And he had to go to jail for that. But in a sense, other than driving the car, he didn't really do anything wrong. Yes, he was driving the car, but it was Jamie Foxx that killed the security guard or whatever it was. And it was the other two that were firing at the cops. He was just there. And even had testimonies from people. I think 25 years is too much. 10 years, maybe. He was just a driver. He didn't... Okay, he shot Buddy, but Buddy was a bad guy. He didn't really do anything wrong. He stole a car, but he said he was sorry. I mean, in my eyes, he didn't really do anything wrong other than driving the car. So in a sense, yeah, sure. But to get 25 years in prison, and technically I think he only got 5 because I think he got that parole, but who knows. But my big negative with this film is the romance, because to me, it's very rushed. I don't think Edgar Wright wrote it right. Wright wrote it right, wrote it wrong, right, wrong. But he meets this girl, they have a conversation, and he asks her out. They have one date, and it seems like they have this budding romance going. They like each other, right? And by the end of the film, she's ready to run off with him. Like, he's got his money, he wants to take her, he wants to run off with her, and he's like, oh, I have to go. He's like, she's like, well, I'm going with you. She's willing to go with him, right? So this love is blooming. They're in love, ready to go, right? Despite it happening very quick, they're in love. They're gonna run off together. Then at the hearing, at the trial, they ask what her relation is, and she goes, "Oh, we're friends, but we might have been going towards more." And I'm like, wait, you were ready to run off with him anywhere, possibly be on the run for the rest of your life for someone who you say were friends, but might be more, but you weren't sure you were more, but you were ready to run off? I don't know. It's kind of sketchy. Why couldn't you just say, he was my boyfriend, or whatever? I guess they never actually say we were dating. There, we were dating. That would make much more sense than, oh, we were friends, but we might be more. It's like, you were more. You were ready to run off with him to God knows where. Running from the police, possibly for the rest of your life. For a friend, I get like best friends. They've only known each other for I don't know how long. But sometimes, especially in movies, romance happens like that. But like I said, it happens too fast. I also feel this is another one. It's more like a mixed aspect to a nitpick. Like, Buddy. Okay, I get. So, Buddy's wife is killed. Monica, she's killed. So he's smart and he goes to the diner knowing that, baby is going to go straight there. But how did he know? Like, I guess he could have guessed, but he knew he would go back, he would take the money back to Kevin Spacey. I don't know. And they had a line earlier in the film where he says that the codename was Banana, just so later, one of the surviving cops from a shootout in which Jamie Foxx killed a bunch of cops, who were actually dirty cops, can show up and go, "Bananas!" and then fire but they get killed. Anyway, I don't know. It's all really weird. But overall, I enjoyed this film very much. And I'm going to say when it comes to Baby Driver, I would say it's pretty good. So, we got one left, man. One left. So what are your thoughts on Baby Driver? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. I'm at an impasse here because I'm not sure when I do my ranking which one's going to go first. The World's End or Baby Driver, because they're both very good. I have very little negative about them. They're in a pretty good category. They're both better than Hot Fuzz in my opinion. Which Hot Fuzz is still at the bottom here. We'll see what Last Night in Soho is, but I haven't hated any of these films. I've liked them very much. I just feel, I don't know, that Hot Fuzz was the least of that, I guess. But we'll see. So, thank you for watching. I've been Scotty, and I'll see you in the next one.